former Minister of Defense, Theophilus Danjuma, has maintained his claim that the government is responsible for the infiltration of many parts of the country by bandits, terrorists, and insurgents. The retired Army General made the fresh allegation on Saturday in Wukari, Taraba State, during the installation ceremony of a traditional ruler which he attended. You know, I always love, I don't understand because recently this man, not quite long, he visited Buhari and he has making some statements. And one thing I noticed is that the man is not even afraid. Just like Obasanjo said, I think he's trying to see confirm what Obasanjo said, that there's an agenda to Islamize and Fulanize Nigeria. And they came and say, oh, why would this man be saying this? They just talk. They don't fit go ask a DSS to go arrest him or to go call him for interrogation of any sort. And don't forget that this man, he has been saying it in 2018 or so. He said the Nigeria army, because he worked with them, that the Nigerian army that he's seeing now, they have a kind of connection with all these bandits and the Boko Haram. And they say, oh, why would he say so? Why would he say so? And this man has been constantly telling Nigerians, you have to defend yourself. Don't trust these people. You have to defend yourself. Now, another bombshell he has released again. And I laugh whether they are going to invite him or they will call him for interrogation. That is what I don't really understand. But unfortunately, Nigerians are not even paying attention. They are not paying attention to what is being said. Some people are just living like anywhere belle face. Anything will happen, make it happen. This man has said many things too. Governor Autumn, but Nigeria, it's like it just fell on deaf ears. Nobody they put all this things. But if anything happen like this, everybody starts crying. Oh, yeah, yeah, it don't happen again. Oh. This man is saying it again. Did you hear what he said? He said government allowed foreign bandits into Nigeria. They want to recolonize us, according to T.Y. Danjuma, as he raises fresh alarm. Well, he submitted that the plan by the bandits is to recolonize Nigeria, and if there is no fight, back, the country is finished. Nigeria News recalls this is not the first time Danjuma would accuse the government and security forces of colluding with the criminals to oppress and kill Nigerians. Do you now see why they don't want to release Nnamdi Kanu? In 2018, Danjuma said the security forces were either not able or unwilling to stop the killing of Nigerians by criminals, further accusing the military of colluding with the bandits. His position stirred reactions but was pushed aside by the military authorities as mere speculations based on the report of an investigative panel set up to look into his claims. However, Danjuma on Saturday said current happenings have vindicated him and showed he was right all along despite government and military positions stating otherwise. Making reference to 2018 saga, the former minister revealed that he didn't honor the invitation of the panel set up to investigate his claims. He added that the truth is now more glaring despite continued denials by the government. According to him, when some few years ago I warned that the armed forces are either not capable or unwilling to protect us and that we must defend ourselves, the first denial about what I said came from the Ministry of Defense. They said I was lying and they set up a kangaroo board of inquiry to investigate the truth or otherwise of what I said. They invited me to come and testify, but I did not go. They wrote their report which states that I was only speculating and that there was no evidence, but now there is evidence. The whole country now is being overrun, and one very clear thing that is happening now is that those foreign invaders are destroying everything and our government allowed them to come into the country. As a soldier, my training teaches me that the best defense attacks. Right now, we are all sitting ducks and these people are armed so the teeth with weapons of mass destruction. According to Danjuma, the plan of the bandits is to recolonize Nigeria and take over the large expanse of land. He, however, added that Nigeria must rise up to the occasion, confront and chase the criminals away away, as anything short of that is dangerous for the country. He said they are trying to recolonize us and take over our land. This country with the largest population of black men is being brought to ruin by absolutely useless criminals. My prayer is that God Almighty that has given us this land would give us the courage to face up our enemies, locate where they are and root them out, driving them out of the country. Otherwise, Nigeria is finished. Well, this retired Danjuma, you are even trying to be diplomatic in your saying. Who is the army? Who is in charge of the army? Who is the what do they call the title they always give the president? Eh? The leader of the armed forces or whatever. Who is the head of the army? Is it not the president? So is the army is they don't work in isolation, which you also know. They don't work in isolation. I don't really understand, because Nigerians were calling when they wanted the these people to be removed, the service chief to be removed. They were calling Buhari to remove them. They couldn't have, or they wouldn't have removed themselves, but Nigerians were calling, because that is what the constitution states. Nigerians were calling Buhari to remove them, and which he eventually removed them. Of course, not saying really happened. So is the head. It is better you guys just speak to the truth. Oh, you just open mouth and say, Buhari, do this, do this, do this. You know that Buhari has even gone out of the country. So it is, you need to call Buhari. Stop calling the Nigeria army because they are under Buhari. The painful part of it is that some people are just like, I beg you, not see they happen. Unfortunately, those who have experienced this whole thing will have will have story to tell, whether good or bad. Yet some brainless fools are campaigning for Tinubu and Shettima sponsor of foreign invaders. Buhari is the one importing his Fulani brothers from Niger and Sudan into Nigeria, so that Fulani will not remain minority and will give them arms to kill anyone that refuses to give them land and land for settlement. Hmm. Well, unfortunately, they will remain in the minority no matter their fictitious national population figures. Okay. Let's look back. You hear some things and you begin to ask, do we have a country? Do you have a leader in this country? Buhari should be called. They should, all this trying to beat around the bush is not going to help. It is not going to help nothing. It's not going to help anybody. Bring out some of the cash you sucked out from sales of the oil blocks you stole from Niger Delta region of Nigeria, and as a retired office, buy AK-47 rifle for your people and others who are ready to defend themselves but lack the power of cash to execute the projects of defending themselves. Well, on point, really, really on point. That's what some people are saying. Well, the cost of APC government, they don't even care about us. Northerners are the architects of their bruises and afflictions. I pity the poor and the uneducated. So you think this whole thing is going to affect the Northerners alone, especially the Hausas that you call them, or some of them that are Kanuris that are not Fulanis? You think it's going to affect them? It's affecting everybody. They are all over the place. You are telling us that it's going to affect them. Well, the Northern, are they not sending their terrorists to affect the South now, out of greed for what is not their own? One thing that I know very sure is that they will be disappointed because God has covenant with Nigeria. Things will just work against all these their plans and they will fall into their own sword. Is it just by mouth? Is it just by ordinary mouth? Because a lot of people don't even believe all these things that are being said. T.Y. Danjuma was and still remains part of the problems we have in Nigeria. If our common patrimony hasn't been stolen by you and your cohorts, Nigeria will not be facing what we are facing today. How many oil well is this holy criminal having? What about the problems you fuel amongst your clan? Search your conscience with others in your group like OBG, Babangida, and numerous criminals out of the uniform today, and ask God for forgiveness. These bandits we see today are part of your plans to destabilize Nigeria. Stop shedding crocodile tears over what you are directly or indirectly involved. Nigerians are now politically advanced and aware of the plots being orchestrated by your vituperance. You are not a saint as you are part of the problems. Okay, well, thank you so much for that, your beautiful write-up. God bless you for saying the raw truths. There must be a revolution in this country. All those old people, they must get it. Well, some people are not even taking it lightly with a Danjuma here. They say it's part of the problem. He's not trying to exonerate himself, whether that is true or not. But we can see what he's saying. You are going to be badly affected. In as much, like I said, it is not by saying but by talking about action. Because after he has said what he has to say, if it wants to happen, it will still happen. Who is going to be badly affected? It is you and I that will be badly affected because they know how to take care of themselves. So in as much you are yabbing him or you know what you are saying about him, you also be prepared. This Juku man is a complete I don't know, okay, and should be really be made to pay back what he did to Nigeria. Well, very brave man. Let other retired generals lend their voices. Nothing but the truth, my dear general. You are an experienced retired general. What you know, these boys don't know. Even if they know, do they have the capacity to say it? So guys, leave your comment down there below and let's have your take.